Welcome back. In part one, we talked about anger as information and not danger. We drew a clear line between anger and abuse and named how harm begins, not with feeling, but with how power is used. Today, we're going to slow down and go further, because understanding anger is only the first step. The next question is, what happens after impact? This isn't about excusing behavior. It's about learning to regulate without using fear, control, or collapse. Whether you're a parent, a partner, or someone unlearning what you were taught about anger, this conversation is about creating safety over time. Let's continue. When we can identify and understand where our pain came from, we can begin to heal it with love. The love it's been desperately fighting for all this time. So what this means is that the work isn't to get rid of anger. The work is to listen before it has to scream. The angry one doesn't need control or fixing. It needs acknowledgement before escalation. More specifically, it needs these 5 things. Number 1, recognition. Recognition that something important was crossed, not minimized or rationalized. The boundary needs to be named. Second, it needs permission to exist without consequence. In other words, grace. Anger softens when it doesn't fear punishment, abandonment, or shame. Third, it needs a boundary that lands, not smothered. Not a debate or an explanation, a clear line that says this stops here. Fourth, it needs witness without urgency. Someone, even yourself, who can stay present without rushing it away. And the last, it needs rest after defense. Anger is exhausting, but once it's heard, the nervous system needs gentleness, not more effort. When anger knows it will be listened to early, it no longer needs to be loud. This is how anger returns, not as a role, but as information. Healing begins when responsibility replaces entitlement. Now, let's talk about what accountability looks like. Accountability includes naming the harm clearly. What this can sound like is, I hurt you when I yelled, threatened, or crossed that line. It's owning the impact, not just the intent. This can sound like, even if I didn't mean to, it caused fear. Accountability also includes ending the behavior consistently. Not once or temporarily, it ends the behavior reliably. Accountability also includes learning internal regulation, no longer using another person to discharge emotion. And lastly, accountability includes accepting consequences without protest. Distance, boundaries, or loss of access are not punishments. They're safety. If someone is truly accountable, your boundaries will feel easier, not harder to hold. You can understand why someone became abusive without making yourself responsible for absorbing it. I'm going to say that again. You can understand why someone became abusive without making yourself responsible for absorbing it. Someone can be wounded and still be unsafe. Your job isn't to rehabilitate harm through understanding. Anger explains feelings. Abuse reveals beliefs about entitlement, power, and permission. Now I want to move toward shadow integration and meeting the angry one. I invite you to meet the angry one with these 3 shadow questions. Number 1, when did your anger first show up? And what was it protecting? Was it a boundary that was crossed? A need that wasn't met? A value that mattered to you deeply? Let anger speak before you judge it. The second question is, what did you learn about anger growing up? Was it allowed or was it punished? Was it feared or ignored? Was anger safe or dangerous in your home? And who was allowed to be angry? What happened when you got angry? And the third is, what does your anger need that it rarely receives? Does it need witness, boundaries, rest, permission, safety? Instead of asking how to get rid of anger, ask, what would help it soften? What would help it trust you? The angry one is a protector that arises when a boundary, value, or need has been crossed and not met. The angry one is not dangerous. Misplaced power is. When anger is not acknowledged early, it seeks relief through control instead of clarity. When anger is fused with power and denied responsibility, it becomes harmful to others. Hold this week and observe how you react. Anger is not here to harm me. It's here to tell me something matters.